I'm from Mississauga, Ontario, which is just beside Toronto, Greater Toronto area. And right now I'm in Chicoutimi, Quebec, learning French, living life, having fun.
And Jacob, what does inspiration mean to you?
Sounds like a difficult question. I'll try to explain, but I guess inspiration, just, I don't know if I can tell you an explanation, but I can give maybe examples or something. But
For sure.
just like when people live out what they believe in, and that often inspires others. So I try to do that myself. And I get inspired when I see others doing things that I think is really cool and necessary for progress, for the future. And by progress, I mean towards like a better future, not just doing the same old thing without thinking. So for example, I'm into sustainable living and sustainable building, and trying to do things without damaging our resources and our water and air that we need for life. So when I see people who are doing that kind of stuff and building with natural materials, doing stuff that's not considered normal, it's not considered the norm, and they just keep doing it even though they're not making lots of money off it, but somehow they keep pushing through, and even though they have to fight a lot because it's so different than what's normal, and they keep going, and it inspires me. That's what I feel like I'm doing right now too. I'm trying to do the best I can to keep pushing forward in like sustainable living and doing things right, learning to make my own food, grow my own food and stuff like that.
That's cool.
Just because I believe that's the future.
Is there any one person in particular that, in this moment, obviously there's been many, but in this moment that just comes to you as being someone who's inspired you on your path?
Well, as soon as you mentioned the idea of this interview and saying that, I thought of someone. It's Joseph Hill from Culture. It's a reggae group from Jamaica. He's passed away a couple of years ago, but that was my inspiration. Since I used to not always be conscious. Maybe in my late teens I started being conscious, and that's when I learned about Bob Marley and his music. I really liked it. My friend told me about it. My friend Simon came from Ghana. He was new to Canada and then got friends, and he taught me about Bob Marley and reggae. And ever since, it kind of changed my life, and I started actually hearing the words that Bob Marley was singing, not just like the rhythm. And I really started becoming more conscious, and then I learned about Joseph Hill and Culture.
Yep.
And it was just like, I got 21 of his albums, and like, I don't know, it's a big part of my life. Like, I remember going to Poland in the summer for the summer, and just right when I got the music, just listening to it on the airplane, and then every morning going for runs, and it's just like, whenever I hear it, it inspires me like so much, because it just kind of brings me back to reality, and like I feel like even though he's an artist that has never met me, I feel like it's kind of like a brother, like a friend, and I listen to him, I relate to him, like I can talk to him, and yeah, it brings me back to reality, like when I'm living everyday life, and sometimes I get caught up in stuff that doesn't always jive with what I believe in, and I just put on Culture, and it'll just like remind me of what I believe in and what I represent, and yeah, his music's pretty religious and spiritual, and just like talking about good, doing good, being good, and like preaching against violence and guns and stuff that's taken for granted nowadays, in music nowadays. Rappers rap about being bad and cool, and he's just like, Culture's just like, he's not like maybe some kid just singing a choir singing this like religious songs, but he's singing songs that are more like a rebuke. He'll rebuke people, and just it's hard to explain.
No, it's cool. It's cool.
But yeah.
Awesome.
Culture.
Cool. Thank you, Jacob.
Welcome. Ça me fait plaisir.
Oh, bye bye.
Bye bye.
Okay.